Hey, I've got a master lock here. It's still in its packet. Going to open it up. Okay, the code, the correct combination is on the back of this, and I'm not going to turn it over. I'm going to see if I can use the techniques that I've been talking about in my other videos to get into this without knowing the combination, so that if you've lost yours, you might better use the same method to get into it. Okay, so with these master locks, if you pull up on the shackle as if you're going to open it and turn the wheels, it'll click into what is called gates. And I can, while I'm still tensioning it, I can turn left and right, and there's a little bit of play from side to side, but it doesn't want to get out of that gate unless I release some tension. Then it'll turn. I can tension it, goes click into the next one, release some tension, turn it a bit, tension it again, and it will click into the next one. Okay, so that's what you get with these types of locks. What I'm going to try and do first is find the third number of the combination, the last number. Okay, so I'm just going to turn this a few times to the right. I'm going to start on around about 0, lift up. I'm going to lift up with medium to heavy tension, and I'm going to start turning. But this time I'm going to turn left, even though I just turned it several times to the right. I'm going to turn it left. Okay, so this, while I've got tension, it's in this gate. I can see the gate is from about 2 to 3. So it's about a movement of about 1. It moves quite well. It can even go like this, moves, and you can hear it click side to side. And if I put on lots of tension, it's the same. Okay, so if I release tension, so I can turn it a bit out of the gate, tension it again, turn, and it clicks into the next one. Okay, so it's going, so again, this movement is around about between 5.5 and maybe 6, or 5.25 and 6.25. So maybe that's got a movement of 1, and it moves quite easily. I'm looking for one, hopefully, that will have a large amount of play and can move easily under tension. So I'm moving it on, tensioning it again, clicks into the next gate. Okay, so that maybe has about a play of about 1. Let's go to the next one. Play of about 1. 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 Next one. Whoa, now this one has a play of 2. It goes from 25 to 27. So it centers around 26. So I think 26 is the correct third number. Okay, let me just check the rest of them quickly just to make sure. Play of about 1. Play of about 1. Play of about 1. And play of about 1, and back. That's back to 0 again. So we said it was around about 26. It had massive amount of play. Okay, so from 25 to 27. Okay, so I'm going to remember 26 is our third number. Okay, the next thing I'm going to try is find the correct first number. We already know that the correct last number is 26. Okay, I'm going to turn it several times to the right again, and I'm just going to start around about 0. I'm Now, to find the first number on the master lock, you lift up on the shackle, but not too hard. So that's why I'm using one finger. What I'm looking for is a stuck point, turning it around. If I don't get any stuck point, that means I'm not lifting it hard enough. So it'll just turn and there'll be nothing. If I get lots of stuck points, then it means I'm lifting up too hard and it's just falling into gates, all right? So I'm just going to lift it up sort of, a medium amount with one finger, not too hard, and I'm going to turn it around. And I got nothing, all right? So I'm going to turn that back around to 0. I'm going to lift up harder. Okay, feeling some bumps. Stuck point here at about, let me look at this properly, it's around about 37. So, and to confirm that it's the right thing, I'm going to go, let me do that again. So, going to a few bumps, but just turning gently. When I get to 27, it just stops. And I can turn past it by turning hard. I'm not going to. So that's 37. If I keep the same tension on, but turn it all the way back to past 37 and then back around, I get no stuck point, even though I'm turning it gently. And that's further confirms to me that 37 was the stuck point that I'm looking for when I turned it around this way. So I turned it several times to the right, and it sort of just stops. I can turn it past, but I'm liking 37. It's very subtle, so I don't know if it's right. But I'm going to go with the assumption that it's right and see how we do. 37. So what you actually do with these master locks is you add on 13. Okay, so 37 plus 13 is 10. That's right, eh? Yeah. So I'm going to say 10 is our first number. Yep, we add on 13 if we're testing it. You know how I turned it several times to the right, then I lift it up, and then I was turning to the left counterclockwise. If you find a stuck point, you add 13 onto it. So I'm going to say 10 is our second number. Our first number. 10 is our first number, and 26 is our last number. Okay, I'm confident about the 26 is our third number. 10 is our first number. I'm not so confident, but we'll see how we go. I'm going to turn it several times to the right. Turning it several times to the right, it resets the internal wheels, and this is what you have to do when you're dialing in your correct combination, if you knew your correct combination. So I'm going to keep on turning, and we said turning to the right, turning clockwise until we get 10 as our first number. And then one full turn to the left, counterclockwise to 10 again, but keep turning, and we want to go to our second number, which we don't know yet, and then back to 26 is our third number. So the first number I'm going to try is 2 away, and notice I'm not tensioning the shackle yet. So 2 away from 10, 2 more than 10 is 12. So it's about there, and then back to 26. And doesn't open, so we know the second number is not 12. So I'm going to turn it back. Now, you know how we went to 10 plus 2 is 12. From now on, we're going to go up in 4s. You only go up in 2s for the first time for the second number, but then you go up in 4s. Okay, so I'm going to go to 16 and then back to 26. and then 4 more. So because I went 12, 16, 20 to 26. No, it doesn't open. And 4 more is 24 to 26. Doesn't open. And 4 more is 28. But notice I don't have to turn it all the way around because I'm already past 26. So I just need to turn a little bit to 26. Doesn't open. And then 28 plus 4 goes to 32, 26. Where was up to? So 36, 26. And 0, 26. And 4, 26. And 8, 26. Okay, what's happened is that we went right back to 10 again, and it didn't open. So it proves that 10 is not the first number. Okay, so we were wrong about the first number. As I said, I'm confident about the third number being 26. Don't know about the first number. Okay, so there's a couple of things we can try. Okay. I'm going to go back to turning it counterclockwise. I'm just going to, instead of turning it to the right first and then counterclockwise, I'm just going to keep turning counterclockwise. I'm just going to slowly increase the tension. So first of all, I'm not going to get any stuck points, any bumps, anything. I'm just going to keep turning and slowly increase the tension with my finger. Yeah, so there's that 37 again. And maybe, what's that, around about, that's like 13 and a half. And a half. Let's try that. So it's either 13 or 14, and I want to add on 13 to that. So if it was 13, then adding on 13 would be 26. So what I'm saying is the first number could be 26 as well as the third number being 26. Okay, so let's try that. So I'm going to reset the internal wheel. It's very important before you, this step, before you dial in any combination, you have to turn it several times clockwise, several times to the right. And I'm going to say 26. And trying 26 is a good idea. The same number, the first number, as the third number if you're having trouble finding the first number, because it could be hidden with the third number interference anyway, you see. So 26, and so I've dialed to 26 several times to the right, stopped at 26, then counterclockwise all the way around to 26, and keep going to our the first attempt for our second number, which is we add on 2 for the first time, which is 28, go back to 26. No, we go to 32. And the reason why I went to 32 and not 30 was because from 26 you go to 28, that was a plus 2, and then I'm doing the plus 4 from now on, as I said before. No, so I went, so from 26 I went to 28, then plus 4 to 32, and then plus 4 to 36. And it opens. Okay, so we eventually was able to get there. A good demonstration for me to do, actually, because sometimes I get lucky and just open it too quick, and some of the viewers struggle opening their lock. So this is a good indication of what I did when it wasn't a walk in the park, it wasn't a pushover, and I struggled a little bit, but I showed you the techniques I would use to get into this. Okay, and in this example, it turned out that the first number and third number were the same number, and so that's why the first number was difficult to find, maybe because it was hiding with the third number. Okay, so, and you can see on the back, indeed, the combination was 26, 36, 26, so we were bang on. The only other thing I'd like to say with these master locks is, if you find one of the numbers, we were most confident about 26, and if you find one of the numbers even, the other two will be even. They'll either be all even or all odd. Okay, so when I was adding 13 onto the first number, because you add something like 13 or 13 and a half, but it's always good to stick with the number that is, if the third number is even, make this even. And so that's why it's 13 or 13 and a half, 13 or 14. You've got a little bit of room to play with. Finally, if you dial in, even if I didn't do that, even if I said, 26, 36, if I said 27, 36, 26, it would still open, because you can be one number out and it will still open. And that's because, you're not expected to dial exactly when you're trying to open up one of these locks to get into your locker. So there's a little bit of wiggle room. But anyway, we managed to get in. Thanks.